friends, except this time when I say good morning, I mean good. It's the middle of the day. It's noon. My body is tired and I don't know why. However, the book we have to listen to today, Every Heart a Doorway, is so short and it's on audio, so it's going to be our last one. And you know, we're not going to turn the lights on in the apartment today, and so we'll be reading it in the dark to fulfill the last prompt. Tattoo is doing well. It's a little bit tight. I slept with saran wrap on it because he said it'll leak a lot, and he wasn't kidding. It leaked a lot, but now it seems to be doing just fine. It's just like tight and sore today, but other than that, like, I barely can tell it's there. Sherlock is hanging out with me. Let's get the last day of Summerween started. I'm so tired. I'm about to go start listening to Every Heart a Doorway and working on my diamond painting. That's my novella prompt / my read in the dark prompt, and it can be read in the dark for multiple reasons. I'm going to turn all the lights off, so it's reading in the dark. It's also reading in the dark because I know next to nothing about like the plot of the book. I know the synopsis of the series, but not the plot of the book. So yeah, I've got 3 sections left of diamond painting, so we're gonna finish today so I can show it off to y'all. What a great finale. Then I'm gonna go to the gym, and then I'm going to work on cleaning this place up because I've been living in a goblin den while reading my Summerween books, and just I need to clean. So that's all gonna happen today. Let's do it. In case you're wondering what my view is, this is it. She's finished. You will have all just seen that after like almost a month, I think it's been exactly a month actually, I finished my diamond painting. I feel so accomplished, y'all. Like, bam. I also listened to Every Heart a Doorway while I was working, and I absolutely loved it. I had the same like creepy but comforted feeling that I got while I listened to Cackle. Completely different stories. They have nothing in common other than like something about the mood and the vibe and the tone, and I just loved it. I can't wait to finish the series. Is it another 5-star for the week? What a successful reading week. I was gonna go to the gym, but my friend just texted and asked if I wanted to go walking at the track tonight, so that's what I'm gonna do for my exercise today. But for now, let's clean. Woohoo. I seriously can't believe I finished this on the last day of Summerween. It could not be a more perfect way to finish it, but I'm so happy with how it came out. What I really want to do is get like a poster frame for it, and then during Halloween, I can put it in a little frame right here and just switch that out seasonally. I need to organize my book cart, but I think that would be really cute. And then just have different diamond art pieces that rotate in that little space. And like, it was really hard to show y'all yesterday, but these little patches on the cat, I just think those are so pretty, and all of the light purple in her hair. There were so many dark diamonds on this one that it got a little bit overwhelming. My next one is really, really bright and fun, and I can't wait to show y'all, but I'm very proud. It might seem silly, but sometimes hobbies don't need an explanation, and they can just be fun, and this has provided me endless entertainment while listening to audiobooks and podcasts, so I'm happy with it. Diamond Art Club, you did good. Hello friends, it is a couple of days later. I do believe the last time you saw me, I was finishing my diamond painting and I was listening to Every Heart a Doorway by Shannon McGuire. But since it's now like 2 days after Summerween has ended, I figured I needed to sit down and actually wrap it up. I meant to have this done a long time ago, but my stomach has been feeling funny the last couple of days, and I just haven't felt up to sitting down and wrapping it up. So my apologies that this is late. Listen guys, I daily vlogged and edited and posted 6 days in a row. Your girl is tired and needed a break. But let's talk about the books I read during Summerween, how I felt about the whole experience. So my TBR for Summerween was 4 books, and I read 4 books during Summerween, so I was very proud of myself. I definitely utilized Scribd a lot, and I was so thankful for it because I was able to read, I was able to work on diamond painting and like get chores done while I was also reading. So let's just go in order of the books that I read. So first of all, like many other people, I read The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I felt like the end was a little bit ridiculous, but overall I had so much fun with this book. It follows our protagonist, Kit, who is a home health aide in the 80s, and she gets voluntold that she's gonna go and be the caretaker for this old woman named Lenora Hope. And Lenora Hope lives in this crumbling seaside manor. She was also accused but never tried for killing her family, like her whole family, very violently and very gruesomely in the 20s, I do believe. But since she was never convicted, she just kind of lives alone in this old crumbling mansion. She is unable to verbally communicate, but she is able to type with her left hand. And Kit and Lenora end up becoming very unlikely friends and basically confiding their stories in each other. So the story of what really happened to Lenora Hope's family is slowly revealed. The manor is slowly crumbling away. There are lots of twists and turns. And even though the ending does get a little bit ridiculous, I just had so much fun with it. It was so close to being a 5-star, but we went with a 4.5 for this one. I had a great time. I read this one in one day. The next book that I read for Summerween was Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. I read this sometime between my late teens and early 20s, but I didn't remember anything about it. I ended up giving this one 3 stars. It was just an okay story. It wasn't very twisty, it wasn't very turny. I kind of saw the end coming, but it was a good time and it was very, very short, so it was a very quick read. So this follows this town that's hosting a Halloween party for the local children. And as some of these women in the town are cleaning up, they find a young girl dead in the room where they were bobbing for apples. One of these ladies goes and commissions Hercule Poirot, the famous detective, to come and solve the murder. And so, like Poirot does in a lot of his books, he kind of bounces around town, interviewing people to learn about the townspeople and who might have had it out for this young girl. The interesting thing about it is this girl, right before she was murdered, claimed that she had seen a murder and nobody believed her. So not only are we investigating the murder of this young girl, we're also trying to figure out if what she said holds any truth and if that might have had something to do with why she was killed. After that, I read Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I've talked at end about how intimidated I was by this book and by Stephen King in general. I thought this book was going to be very jump scare, very just frightening and unsettling, and would make me kind of unable to sleep or rest at night. I thought it would kind of amp up my anxiety. It did not. I was so thoroughly pleased with how much I enjoyed this book, to the point that it was my favorite book I read this week, and it was a 5-star, and I cannot wait to read more Stephen King, probably in October. So if you don't know what this book is about, it is about a family, Lewis, Rachel, I think her name is Ellie, and Gage, and they have just moved to a new town so that Lewis can be the campus doctor at the local university. They buy a house that's really, really near a highway, and they also have a bunch of property in the back. They have a next door neighbor named Judd, and Judd takes them around their property to kind of get them used to it, and they find out that there's this pet cemetery that the local kids kind of keep up and bury their pets, and there's a lot more unexplored land beyond the pet cemetery. Judd also warns the family that the road is very dangerous. So all of these things kind of form the story that's about to take place. The family also has a cat named Church. And I don't want to spoil anything for this book for you, but let's just say, since the name is Pet Sematary and this family does have a pet, that there is something that happens to their pet, and then there's a lot more unexpected twists and turns that this book takes. I was not expecting it to be such an emotional journey, and it really was. This book was far more about emotions and humanity than it was about the scares. So if you're in the mood to read a book that really explores grief, that explores letting go and what it means to move on after death, I think this book is great. It's beautifully written. The scares are these quiet, looming scares. The end does get a little bit gory, I'll go ahead and tell you that, but I couldn't be more pleased that I read this during Summerween, and like I said, I can't wait to read more Stephen King. You guys have given me some great recommendations this week. The last book that I read, I don't have a physical copy, I just listened to it on Scribd, and that is Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. I gave this book 5 stars too. So I listened to this. It's about a 4.5 hour long audiobook. I was able to listen to it in about 2 hours because of just the speed I listen to books, but I loved it. And I feel like I'm very, very late on the Wayward Children series train, but I'm so happy to be here now. This series as a whole is about children who are able to visit portal worlds like Narnia But what happens to them when they come back, when they have to accept the truth that they might never get to go back to this magical, fantastical world where they felt like they belonged and where they fit, and they come back to Earth, or, you know, their home, and they just don't feel like this is the place that was made for them anymore. So it's a boarding school where the kids get therapy, but really they're just kind of learning how to come to terms with where they are now, who they are now after these changed experiences, and learn how to face the fact that they might never get to go back. So it's about the kids' relationships with themselves. It's about their relationships with each other. And this first book was actually kind of a murder mystery, which I had no idea going in. So it was perfect for Summerween. The writing was beautiful. The vibes were like charming, whimsical children's story, but definitely like adult and creepy at the same time. I'm so curious about all of these characters and the worlds that they have visited, and I've been told that future books will explore like the worlds that each child was a part of before they came back to this Wayward Children's Home, and I'm very excited to continue. I did not complete all of the photo prompts, which that's okay. I was very busy editing these vlogs, but I did complete all of my reading prompts. So for a thriller, I read The Only One Left. For a book with black on the cover, I read Pet Cemetery. For a book set in fall, I read Halloween Party. And then for a novella and a book read in the dark, I read Every Heart a Doorway. And man, y'all, what a good week. I'm so ready for fall now. If you watched all the way to the end of my very last Summerween video, I'm gonna give you a choice of emojis today. Either leave me the witch, or a book, or a ghost. Anyone, whichever one fits your fancy. And if you liked this and want to see more bookish content from me, make sure that you like, subscribe, leave comments down below. I love interacting with you guys, and I will see you in the next video soon. Bye, guys.